Hi, third grade. Can you believe we are on week 4 of our virtual learning already? I know you've been doing writing with Mrs. Hunt. So this week I thought I would try to focus on maybe just helping you perk up that writing a little bit, called writing with pizzazz or stretching those sentences out. I've got a few examples for you. When you're trying to stretch out a sentence or put more details into your writing, think of the who, doing what, who, what, when, where, and why of your writing. So here's a simple sentence. My cute puppy. Who's the who is the cute puppy. Let's tell the reader what the puppy is doing. My cute puppy curls up on the rug. Okay, that's adding some details. Let's tell the reader when this happens. Each night, my cute puppy curls up on the rug. Okay, that's great. How about where this is happening? Each night, my cute puppy curls up on the rug in my bedroom. How about we tell the reader why this is happening? Each night, my cute puppy curls up on the rug in my bedroom to chew his bone. Now you can see this last sentence tells the reader many more details of what's going on in your story. And it's really just one sentence. Let's look at another example since I have no chart paper, on my handy cardboard paper. Okay, the who can be any name. I use the name Oliver. What's Oliver doing? Oliver is learning new things. Where is this happening? Oliver is learning new things at home, just like many of you are doing. When is this happening? Today. Today, Oliver is learning new things at home. Why is this happening? Today, Oliver is learning new things at home because he is very curious. So the writer is telling that reader a lot more information in this last sentence than just in the one word of Oliver. I showed you these at the end of my video last week. Now I'm not sure if you watched to the end, so I'm going to show you this little tidbit at the beginning of this video. This is an idea I showed you. You could cut any picture out of a magazine, and then I cut it in half and had my kids draw the other half and write a story on the back. So if you didn't do that this last week, this is something that you can do this week. You can be sure to add lots of details in that story. Make sure you're telling that who, what, where, when, and why of your story. Here's another cute one that my son did this one. So there's his half a cat. So kind of combine art and a little bit of writing for my kids. Now, we're going to use this story of Otis by Lauren Long kind of as our example text for this week. And I'll stop and I'll share with you parts of the book that I think the author did a really great job of telling us, the readers, more details in the story. The more details that a writer shares in their writing, it gives us a better picture in our head, that mental picture that we're playing in our head as we're reading. Because not all books that we read are storybooks, or are picture books, rather. Okay, I'll have a seat here so my cinematographer can zoom in. There once was a friendly little tractor. His name was Otis, and every day Otis and his farmer worked together, taking care of the farm they called home. Otis liked to work. But after working hard all day, so I've got my how he's working and when he's working, Otis was ready to unwind and play. He would ride the rolling hills and skirt mud pond down by the corn. Lots of details in that, just those 2 sentences. He would leapfrog bales of hay and explode through haystacks. Very descriptive. On occasion, he would chase a rabbit or play ring around the rosy with the ducks, to the sounds of his steady put, puff, putty, chuff. And sometimes at the end of the day, he would just sit under the apple tree and watch the farm below. Every night, tired but happy, Otis would puff into the little stall in the barn that was all his. One night, when Otis was fast asleep, the farmer brought a beautiful baby calf into the barn. The calf bawled and bawled for her mother, but when the sleepy sound of the soft puff, putty, chuff came from the next stall, the scared little calf stopped bawling and drifted off to sleep. From that day on, the calf started to follow the little tractor wherever he went. Puff, putty, chuff, and she followed him over the rolling hills and down by Mud Pond. She was right behind him, leapfrogging bales of hay. And the calf made their games of Ring Around the Rosie all the better. Sometimes at the end of the day, the two of them would just sit together under the apple tree and watch the farm below. Otis loved his little calf, and the little calf loved Otis. Then one day, the farmer surprised everyone with a brand new yellow tractor. "Time to move out, Otis," the farmer said. He took Otis out of the little stall in the barn that was all his and parked him back behind the barn. Then he backed the big yellow tractor into the stall next to the little calf. So you can imagine this happening. But the little calf didn't like the big yellow tractor. He had a deep, rumbling snore that shook the stall when he slept. There was no one to purr the little calf gently to sleep, no one to spend her days with. And Otis could not even see his farm as the weeds began to cover his tires. His friend often sat with him, but she could not get him to play like the old days. So the author didn't just tell us, the reader, that he had put Otis behind the barn. We get an idea of what that looks like, that he can't see the farm, that he has weeds covering his tires. It was early summer when the farmer discovered a poster. "Who has the prettiest calf in the land? Judges will decide at the county fair and award a fancy blue ribbon to the winner." The farmer knew the answer. He would show the little calf. But on the morning of the fair, the little calf was nowhere to be found. She had wandered down to Mud Pond by the cornfield to cool off. When she waded into the muddy water, her feet sank. With every step, she sank deeper and deeper and deeper. The little calf was stuck in Mud Pond. "Get the hands!" the farmer shouted when he saw her. All the farmhands came running with the ropes, but the more they tugged, the more stuck the calf got. "Get the big yellow tractor!" the farmer shouted. "He can save her." But the big tractor just scared the little calf, and she sank in deeper and deeper. Nearby farmers began to gather. "Then call the fire chief Douglas and the fire truck," the farmer shouted. "They can save our little calf." But the sight of the big red fire truck startled the little calf in even deeper. The farmer was fit to be tied. If the farmhands and the big tractor and even Fire Chief Douglas and his fire truck couldn't save the little calf, then who? Suddenly, the little calf's ears began to perk. Over the hum of the growing crowd, there came a faint sound in the distance, a soft, rhythmic purr, put, puff, putty, chuff. The crowd turned and looked. The sound became louder, puff, puff, putty, chuff. And all at once, Otis puffed from around the barn. He turned and he headed straight toward Mud Pond. Otis puffed down the rolling hill and pulled right up next to the muddy water's edge. The calf heard her friend's puttering purr and bawed. It was something like a hello. Then, to the sound of his gentle chuff and the amazement of all the people in the crowd, Otis slowly began to circle the pond. He circled and he circled, and the little calf turned and turned, never taking her eyes off her friend. With each ring Otis made around Mud Pond, the muddy grip loosened until the calf was able to stumble out of the pond on her own. The two friends had found each other again. I like this last descriptive here. Otis led the calf right down the dusty road toward the village, and everyone threw flowers as they went, following them into town. It looked like a happy parade. No one needed a fancy blue ribbon to tell them that the calf was a special calf. Otis was a special tractor, and the two of them were special friends. From that day on, the farmer discovered that with Otis' puttering purr beside the chicken coop, his chickens laid more eggs. At milking time, with Otis' gentle chuff nearby, his cows produced more milk. On occasion, Otis even got to join the farmer and the big yellow tractor out in the fields. But often, at the end of the day, Otis would just sit with his friend under the apple tree and watch the farm below. The end. Okay, well, that was our story for the week. I hope you liked it. I hope you got some good ideas about including lots of details in your writing. If you do one of these writings, please share them with Mrs. Hunt or Mrs. Ramsdell or Miss Hall in your Zoom meetings. I would love to see them, and I'm going to try to join those meetings too. So I will see you next week. Bye.